You know, it's been a really long time. So I'm trying to get back into the flow of making videos again. So I'm gonna try really hard to keep up with content and keep it interesting. I have a new camera, I have a new microphone, I have a new mindset. I think I'm ready. So I'm just doing some computer work right now for the shop. So yeah, I guess we'll just hop on the computer and get to work. What I've accomplished in like revamping my store, so I've completely trashed the whole sewing resin thing. I really liked those scraps, but it takes up a lot of space, and buying molds and resin is very expensive. I was spending like $100 a pop for like jugs of resin, and resin is very temperamental, so I was having a lot of issues with like it not curing properly with a lot of pieces, so I was throwing them out because once they don't cure properly, there's nothing you can do about it. They just get sticky and tacky, and like if they're hot, they actually like bend, and they're not supposed to bend at all. They're supposed to be like solid plastic. So I was having a really hard time with the epoxy. Molds are very expensive. Storage was an issue. I have downsized a lot in my craft room. It doesn't really look like it right now, but I used to have like 4 tables and it was just dedicated to resin. And it's messy. I've ruined so many pairs of clothes because of resin. So, camera just randomly stopped working when I touched it. So resin, once you get it on the floor or on a surface, it's sticky for life, or you have to scrape it off with like a razor blade. So I wasn't really into the mess. I wore gloves because resin can be very toxic. It can make you really itchy, it can make you break out, it can make your eyes swell up. The fumes are toxic, they stink. So resin, it was actually kind of a good thing to get rid of that, to just kind of scrap that. And not everybody wants resin pieces. I don't know. And then sewing takes up a lot of space and time and a lot of effort for me when I work a full-time job. So I want sewing projects to be personal or for family or for friends. I don't really want to sell those kinds of things. So if there's something wrong with something I made, like the stitching comes out and stuff, which will happen over time. Stitching does wear out. Even in store-bought clothes, the stitching seams will come undone, your pants will rip, whatever. But it's very time-consuming to cut and sew and make sure it's perfect. So I've gotten rid of the sewing and the resin. Big time savers by not doing any of that. I originally wanted my store to be like an art shop, so I had my prints and stickers and these, just walked into that, these pens that I made of my own art. Let's see if I can, that nobody is interested in. So these are actually very expensive to have made. It's very expensive to have prints made as well. So these are acrylic pens that I had made up of some art pieces. Trying to get the plastic off. So the pins that I made that I've never sold. I'm getting rid of physical products. I do want a stationery shop slash like art print store. So I am doing that, but I'm going about it in a different route. Here's the pastel bats that I made like 2 years ago. And then you have to have storage for stuff like this. You have to have storage for prints. I have prints stored. Stickers are expensive to make unless you make them yourself, but if you don't have time to make them and cut them and print them and all that stuff, then it's a hassle. You have to have a printer, you have to have some kind of cutting machine, you have to have a good printer, and a good printer is easily $400. So I decided not to do a physical art store. I am still doing a stationery shop, but it's not going to be physical items. So I'm doing digital stationery. I'm designing them myself. I am a graphic design student, so I have a lot of knowledge with that. I like art, I like drawing. I have a big computer, fancy equipment, a nice desk. So that's what I've been working on. I'm slowly, when the listings expire, I won't re-up them, I guess. So we're just keeping it simple. So it's still my artwork, but it's less hassle on me because I don't have to have storage. I don't have to have physical products. I don't have to have shipping products, and I don't have to charge shipping. And I can keep the prices relatively cheap. Like, I'll just show you some examples. I always print out my samples for myself. I like really low quality. I do not know if this is gonna show up at all. So it's really low quality because I just need to see like a rough draft of what I had going on. Like, I'm mostly looking for line spacing and to see if this is too big or if this is too big. I'm just looking for quality, not print quality. I'm just looking to see if the graphics are in the right place, basically. So there's a sample. I don't know if you can see it. It's just a stationery page. It's relatively cheap. It's like $1.99, but you're getting 3 different sizes. So if you're in America, I have the US letter size, which is our typical printing size. And then I have A4 and A5 for like, if you're over in Europe, and that's your typical printing size. So there's 3 different sizes. I have one page that you're paying for and then a bonus page. I'm trying to like kind of throw out extras out there. What else? It's like $1.99, it's pretty cheap. You download it, you can print it at home, you can have it printed up at a shop like Vistaprint or Staples. But this is one of my favorite pages. Tried moving to a different area in the craft room for better lighting so you guys can actually see. So I'm kind of focusing on the holidays right now, even though I'm having like a really late start to all of this. Like a super late start. Like here I'll write some adjustments that I want to make before I actually like put it on the website. This one's not available yet because I'm still working on it. Bad print quality, but the focus, these stripes won't be in there. That's from my printer, but the focus is on these like note card squares with the design. That's the focus of the page, not the lines. Well, there's some stuff that I'm gonna have. This is also one of the first ones that I made. I really like it. I like the little moons. I did make this stuff a little smaller so it's a little more versatile for your purposes. The black ink never comes out striped on my printer, but the colored stuff always comes out with banding. So this is the idea with the like pages with the 4 squares. They're like little like post-it notes, but without the sticky stuff on the back. So you can write your little notes on there, and you can tape them to your refrigerator or whatever you can, whatever you want. So that's what I got. So that's what I've got so far. I really need some more energy drink. I am exhausted. Okay, so I'm just gonna get back to work. Okay, so if you don't like stationery or journaling or plannering, then obviously this stuff isn't gonna be for you. But if you like to watch the process, you want to support me, that's awesome. That'd be super helpful. I'm going to make some test prints of some prints that I just designed last night and this morning to see how they kind of look if you print them out at home on just regular 8.5 by 11 paper. So just gonna do that real quick. This one I actually wanted to print out really good quality so I can see it, because it's an art print and not just stationery, so I did a little bit of like better quality printing from the computer. Right. Okay, it's not that great of quality. It's just a cheap printer, so it's not the black came out super good, but the colored parts of this still has the banding because it's a cheap Walmart printer. So yeah. I don't know if you can tell that it's banded. The sun has banding in it. Outside of that though, didn't come out bad. I actually don't hate it. So there we go. One of the prints that will be in the shop soon. With the prints, I do 5 different sizes so that you can have large wall prints, like from, you know, really big stuff to really tiny stuff. So there'll be 5 different sizes available in one file. I do a PDF file, compress the file so you can download the file. But it'll have 5 different sizes in it so you can print it out whatever size you would like. But yeah. That's the design. So I'm gonna print out the other one that I did last night. That was the design that I made last night at like 1 in the morning. I'm used to staying up that late because I work from like 2:30 to 1 in the morning, so I just stay up that late on my days off anyways. But yeah, this is another design that will be offered in the shop. I actually really like the way that it came out. So I have free hugs. It's cute. And this one that says not a hugger. So those will be in the shop. I like those. I'm actually gonna hang them up even though the drafts aren't that like, they have a little bit of banding, but from a distance you can't really like. Alright, I got the free hugs and not a hugger print up on my Etsy store now. So that's live and ready to go, as well as this one.